Welcome to The Explainer. So, if you're like most people, you probably assume that starting a podcast requires this massive, stadium-sized audience before it makes any actual money, right? I mean, we've all seen those internet gurus standing in front of rented sports cars, pitching you the dream that a podcast is your literal ticket to overnight millions. Well, today, we're shattering that myth completely. We're going to break down the actual honest numbers behind the 5 real podcast earnings. And I promise you, the reality of how modern creators build long-term wealth through audio is way more accessible and, frankly, way more fascinating than those sensationalized headlines want you to believe.
Okay, let's dive into this by looking at the sheer scale of the industry. Right now, there are over 500 million podcasters worldwide, and by 2026, the entire industry is projected to blow past a staggering $5 billion in revenue. $5 billion. But here's the catch. When beginners see that giant pie, they think they're going to grab a massive slice on day one. The reality of what a beginner actually experiences is, well, very different. But don't let that gap discourage you. It's actually your biggest advantage because it tells you exactly how the system works. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going for radical transparency here. First, the honest earnings picture. Second, 5 real income streams. Third, Spotify's 2026 platform updates. Fourth, a zero-budget starter setup. And fifth, the fatal beginner mistake. Stick around because this is your step-by-step strategy for success.
Section 1. The honest earnings picture. Look, it's absolutely crucial that we establish some trust right out of the gate. Most videos completely gloss over what early creators actually take home, because selling a dream gets more clicks. But just between you and me, podcasting is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a long-term platform-building method. The honest beginner reality is that most small podcasts earn between $0 and $500 a month. That myth of everyone making over $100,000 a month, yeah, that's strictly the top 1%. But here is the really exciting part that nobody talks about, the mid-size shows. A dedicated mid-size show routinely pulls in between $1,000 and $10,000 a month. Why? Because advertisers absolutely crave deep, dedicated niche engagement over broad, shallow reach. That is life-changing money, and it is entirely within your grasp.
Section 2, 5 real income streams. So how do we actually hit that mid-size revenue tier? This is the core focus of our explainer today. And it's where things get really fun. Reaching that $1,000 to $10,000 a month mark is 100% achievable, but the secret isn't going viral. The secret is stacking. The smartest creators don't treat these 5 real podcast earnings like isolated lottery tickets. Instead, they treat them like bricks in a foundation, carefully layering them on top of one another. As your audience grows, you unlock multiple avenues for revenue all at once. Let's break down exactly what these 5 streams look like.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the math behind Stream 1, sponsorships, and ads. In 2026, standard podcast ad rates run between $18 and $50 per 1,000 downloads for a mid-roll ad read. If you're new to the space, a mid-roll ad is just a short commercial break right in the middle of your episode, exactly when listener retention is at its highest. So do the math with me. If you have 10,000 downloads per episode and you sell 2 ad slots, you're making $360 to $1,000 per single episode, just from brands paying to be mentioned. It is a fantastic baseline to build on.
But remember, we're stacking. Stream 2 is listener subscriptions. Using platforms like Patreon or Buzzsprout, your most loyal listeners pay you a monthly fee in exchange for bonus episodes, early access, or exclusive content. Just imagine having 100 super fans paying you $5 a month. That's $500 of reliable monthly income. This is a total game changer because it creates the most stable, recurring income foundation possible. It completely takes off the pressure of needing millions of downloads, letting you enjoy your creative freedom. Next up, Stream 3, affiliate marketing. This is where you recommend products you genuinely love, and you earn a commission when listeners buy. We actually found a really cool success story in our source data. One podcaster reported earning over $1,000 in referral commissions in a single quarter, literally just from affiliate links sitting in their show notes. And the best part? That effort turned into steady, passive payouts of $500 to $700 every single month after that. An episode you record today can generate affiliate clicks a year from now. That's the beauty of evergreen audio. Stream 4 takes all that incredible goodwill you've built and monetizes it directly. This means selling your own products or services. It's a simple flow. Step 1, your podcast builds deep, authoritative trust. Step 2, you pitch your own digital products or courses to solve your audience's problems. Step 3, you convert those listeners into high-ticket consulting clients. Think about the psychology going on here. These people are spending hours with your voice in their earbuds every single week. That know, like, and trust factor is totally locked in before you ever even make a pitch. That's why this is often the most lucrative stream for experts. And this brilliantly illustrates Stream 5, YouTube ad revenue. Check this out. 41% of US weekly podcast listeners actually prefer watchable video versions of their podcasts. You don't need some crazy Hollywood film crew for this. Literally just point a high-quality webcam at yourself while you talk into the mic. By uploading that video version to YouTube, you unlock an entirely separate, massive revenue pool through their ad network, perfectly stacking on top of everything we just talked about.
Section 3. Spotify's 2026 platform updates.
So you're probably wondering, how do I reach the minimum requirements to actually start making this money? Well, the tech giants have made it wildly easier. Let's move to and see how this builds with Spotify's January 2026 updates. They drastically lowered the barrier to entry for their partner program. You used to need 2,000 listeners, now it's just 1,000. You used to need 10,000 consumption hours. They slashed that to just 2,000. And you only need 3 published episodes to qualify, down from 12. Add in the fact that hosting on Spotify for creators is free, and they give you a 50% ad revenue share. They are practically begging new creators to come over and start earning.
Section 4. Zero Budget Starter SAP.
Since the barriers are so low, I want you to know you absolutely do not need expensive gear to start stacking these streams today. People love to procrastinate by shopping for $400 microphones instead of just hitting record. But here is your zero budget checklist. To record, just use your smartphone in a quiet room with lots of soft furniture, like a closet, to kill the echo. For hosting, use Spotify for Creators, which is totally free. It automatically distributes your show everywhere: Apple, Amazon, Google. And for editing, stick to free software like Audacity or GarageBand. It costs exactly $0 to launch today. No excuses.
Section 5. The fatal beginner mistake.
Okay, before you run off to record that first episode, we really need to talk about a massive trap. If you fall into this, your podcast is basically doomed before it starts. So, what is it? What keeps most new podcasters stranded at $0 for months on end? It's the urge to rush. The fatal mistake is trying to monetize before you've actually built an audience. I know it's super tempting to jam sponsorship slots and product pitches into episode 1, but doing that when only 10 people are listening, it completely kills your momentum. It makes you look inauthentic and alienates the very few people generous enough to give your new show a chance. So, the crucial point is this: build your audience first. It is always quality over quantity. Having just 500 genuine, dedicated listeners in a very specific niche is worth way more to a sponsor than 5,000 random disconnected downloads. A hyper-targeted audience actually buys things because your content is deeply relevant to their lives. A random, uninvested audience, they just hit the skip button. Which leaves us with the ultimate question: are you going to rush to monetize a ghost town, or are you ready to be patient, build a loyal audience, and stack those streams for real long-term wealth? The choice is entirely up to you. Podcasting is an incredible vehicle, but only if you play the long game. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Make sure you join us again tomorrow, because in our next explainer, we're covering a fascinating method to earn money from writing without recording a single word. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. See you then.